even though it can feel sort of weird being the older person in the group, like I think it's good to have different perspectives.
I think that'd be really cool, not just have like one career, but to also help students in the future. That's so cool.
Hi, I'm Joseph. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Joseph. I'm Melina.
How you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I just graduated online. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good myself. A little bit tired, but I'm hanging in there. And congratulations on graduation.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I guess I'll start from the beginning. I came here when I was 1.5 years old from the Philippines, and right now I'm studying business. I'm a business major, and I want to go into finance and marketing too, so that's what I want to major in. And right now I'm looking for a transfer school. I got accepted to 2, so right now I'm trying to make the choice, and I'm still waiting on the other one. What about you?
So I'm from the United States. I was born in Washington, D.C., but grew up in Silver Spring in Maryland. I actually graduated college in 2014. I went to the University of Pennsylvania, got my degree in marketing, and all these years later, I'm kind of trying to transition my career more into acting and filmmaking. So I've been taking classes at MC to do television production and audio production and video editing, and I'm also working for MCTV as a production intern.
Wait,
So
that's so cool.
yeah, it's a really interesting journey that I've been on the last several years.
Wait, the University of Pennsylvania, that's the top business school in the country.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Wait, what was your experience like at that school?
Um, it had its ups and its downs for me. I kind of had my reservations about going to an Ivy League school, just based off of how I heard people who go to those types of places are. You certainly have those people, but you do have a lot of people you can find things in common with. So overall it was a good experience, even though there were definitely its challenges. Like the work is very demanding, it's very challenging, but you get a lot out of it. The more you get involved with stuff and meet and network with people, it's a pretty cool experience.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wait, what made you want to do marketing? Because right now I want to do marketing.
Okay, well, I initially went to school to do finance. That was what my dad wanted me to do, basically because he said that's where the money is. But I got into those classes, and I had to take a whole variety of business classes, but really the only ones that interested me were the marketing ones, because they were more project and presentation based rather than just sitting there reading books and doing formulas and stuff like that. So I found more of a kind of a creative outlet going through marketing, which is what interested me the most. Me being artistic, creative type myself, that's what drew me to that.
Oh, for sure. That's really cool. I really enjoyed marketing too. I was initially just gonna go in for finance, but I really like all the stuff that like marketing like has. Like I had a marketing internship, and it allowed me to kind of like be creative, and that's what I'm kind of doing with my work right now, and creating like content for like social media, which I really enjoy and I want to get into in the future. But yeah, like I'm excited to take like a marketing class, like an actual marketing class, so that like we can actually do like those projects. And yeah, and I think that's really cool that you want to like change, and like now you're an intern and you're learning all that. And like I edit videos too, like I can do that. And yeah, that's cool.
So what are you looking to do beyond MC?
So right now I'm like planning on transferring and becoming like so I want to be like either a financial manager or a marketing manager, and I also want to have a second career as a teacher if I can, you know, because I think that'd be really cool, not just have like one career, but to also help students in the future and tell them about my experiences and like overall teach them, because I really like teaching too.
Mm-hmm. And so I guess going through MC, what has your experience been? How has your experience in MC helped guide you on the path that you want to go on?
Okay. Have you ever been to the cafe in school? Well, do you go to the Rockville campus ever?
Yeah, I haven't been all over the campus a whole lot, but yeah, I've been to the cafe.
Oh, okay. So as a part of like my business program, so we have to work at the cafe. It's kind of like required for experiential learning, and that has like really helped too, because you know it taught me how to make like Starbucks drinks and become like a cashier. And we also do like other stuff like outside of just like the cafe. Like I also was on the accounting team. Like I say was now because like I just graduated, so like yeah, I mean, I'm still getting used to it, but we did like the daily reports, and then we would make our income statements and then present it to the board whenever we had those meetings within our program. So that really helped me kind of like with the finance section that I want to get into, because, you know, like looking at numbers, we can predict like how we can use our money in the future. So yeah, and then marketing too, just like with my other jobs.
Yeah. I have a note here that you are first generation college student. Is that right?
Oh, like here in America, but both my parents went to college, and like my mom, she graduated with a bachelor's degree, and I think my dad got like a certificate, but like yeah, I'm the first person in my family to go to college here in America, and I have 2 younger siblings too.
Okay. So do you feel any like added pressure in that regard?
No, I think it's just like really supportive too. Yeah, and I feel like it's just like the route that I'm supposed to take, I guess.
Yeah.
It says here that you're a former professional wrestler. What was that?
Yeah, that's true. So when I was a kid, I was a huge wrestling fan. I got introduced to it at the age of 8. And this is back when pro wrestling was very violent and you know, not really for kids, but I was watching it anyway. And I told myself that's what I wanted to do when I got older, in addition to other things that I wanted to do, but that was number one. And, you know, even when I was going through college and, you know, I kind of had my mind focused on things besides wrestling, you know, that was always in the back of my head. So I was like Googling wrestling schools all over the country. And I ended up coming back to Maryland. I didn't intend to, but that's where I ended up. And I ended up going to it's called Maryland Championship Wrestling up in the Baltimore area. That's by far, in my opinion, the best wrestling school for anybody who wants to get into that profession. It's really good training. They have a lot of connections, so I got to work with big name wrestlers, mostly guys from like the 80s. I doubt you've heard of them. People like the Honky Tonk Man and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They're guys who are WWE Hall of Famers who, you know, going to some schools, you probably wouldn't get to interact and work with those guys, but I was fortunate enough to do things like that and to live my dream.
Oh, that's so cool. Wait,
Yeah.
so did you like stop it?
For now, because my focus now is much more so acting and filmmaking. Plus, wrestling really hurts. People think it doesn't because it's quote unquote fake, but I got injured doing that. So yeah, it's fake, but it's certainly very real in certain aspects.
Wait, so what made you want to do like acting and like film production too?
Like I said before, I've always been a creative type, a more artistic person. So I was in band and stuff when I was a kid, and I always enjoyed performing in front of a crowd. I enjoyed that live immediate feedback that I got. And then as I got older, I just found myself wanting to, kind of going along that same path. I wanted to see what that experience would be like for acting. And I took an acting class my senior year of college, did really well. And I was like, I've got something here. I can expand on that. So I've gotten more and more into it in that regard. And then working in wrestling, I just always found it fascinating, not only what we do as performers, but what goes on behind the scenes as far as filming the events or coming up with storylines and things like that. So I've just always been interested in not just performing, but the whole process of making a production come together. So you had briefly talked about it before, but the transfer process for MC going into another school, how are you finding that?
It's actually pretty good. We had really good advisors in the MBI program who helped us at least once every semester plan out our schedule and what classes we would take. And they really made sure that we were taking classes that were going to transfer over. And they would tell us, even though we were interested maybe in a certain class to fulfill our humanities requirement or stuff like that, they would be straight up and tell us oh, those might not transfer over to the schools that you're thinking about applying to.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good. They were really honest, and it really helped and make sure that our path was clear and we weren't repeating any courses if we weren't repeating any courses or taking unnecessary courses. And it was really good. They just guided us and kept us on top of the courses we need to take in order to have them transfer over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. So can you talk a little bit more about the MBI program? I'm not familiar with that.
Oh yeah, so it's called the Macklin Business Institute, and I got in when I was a senior in high school, and I was really fortunate because out of all the other options that I had, this one was providing the most financial aid to me, which is really important for me and my family because I have two younger siblings and they want to go to college too, and I didn't want it to be too hard on my parents because the other universities I would have to pay a lot more. So I'm really happy that I chose MBI, and it's an experiential learning business program, and we have seminars every Wednesday. We have it's meetings, and we have different workshops where we get to learn about things that will really help as a business major, about this book. It was 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and we kind of did that, and going over things you use in accounting or case analysis. There's this new it's a workshop that we did during seminar. We had to do a simulation, and we had to own our own businesses, so we got into groups, right? And then everyone started off with the same amount of money that we could use in that program, and we had to develop a product. The first one was the chips that you put into your computers, I guess. yeah, to like help it like process. And then the second one, for the second semester we did this, it was like these things used in the medical program. So we just had to like do research and development. We had to do like marketing, like how much money we would allocate towards certain things, and like how we would make our product to be. And we had to work on like production and making sure we like produced enough, and the finance, making sure like the money part, like we're paying for it, we don't have too much debt, we like issue stock and stuff like that. And last semester my group won, so that was really cool, and we got like a LinkedIn badge for it. And it really helped me like it was like really helpful seeing like all the different parts moving and how it affects one another, because you'll go to like the results if you change something and be like, oh, how well you're doing in this category and how it might affect like the other departments. And that's really important at like a business major, seeing like that all the choices made affects the business as a whole.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that MC would offer programs like that. And then, talking about your advisors for the transfer process, it's a critical thing to have people and to have programs like that, because, my dad has talked to me about issues he had when he was in school, not really having these things that you're talking about. And I think that's why MC kind of separates itself from not only other community colleges, but other colleges in the area in general. That's really cool.
Yeah, this was a relatively new program, and we heard about this during seminar, and they have actually been working on like implementing this like simulation for years. And it was like a surprise to us. Like everyone was like, oh, this is going to be a really important seminar, like there's going to be like a lot of important people that are here. And then our main donor, Don, he told us that he was funding this, and then there would also be additional funding for transfer scholarships. So that was really exciting for all of us to hear. And there was like even like pictures on like the MC like Flickr page that they took, like whenever there's like events, like they'll have like the professional photographers. And that was just a really important day, I guess, in like all of MBI history.
Yeah.
How does it feel being like wait, no offense or anything, of course, but how does it feel being like a little older, like in the MC community and interacting with like younger people, I guess?
It's interesting. I didn't think that was going to be me when I graduated college back in 2014, because when I graduated, I was so done with school. I was like, I'm never going back. But, wanting to transition my career to what I want to do, it was just something where I felt like I needed some sort of foundation. Like I could just go rogue and try to do my own thing getting into the TV and film business, but I think it was necessary for me to come back to school and at least just get some sort of foundation. And it's been cool working with the people that I've met and worked with in the classes that I've had so far. And especially in MCTV, being a production intern, we really get involved in all aspects of production. So, it could be something as small as just generating ideas for certain content that we want to put out, all the way to, operating the camera and, doing lights and building the sets, doing post-production with editing and really every aspect. And I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the people I've worked with. I think it's cool to, even though it can feel sort of weird being the older person in the group, like I think it's good to have different perspectives that come together and put out unique content and stuff that people can really get into and learn from and have fun with. So yeah, it's a little bit weird, but I'm enjoying it.
For sure. Well, that's cool. I actually, every time I have an evening class, I like it a lot more because there are like older people that are there. So I feel like we take the class more seriously and it's a lot more mature. And I like talking to them because they're so serious and like focused on their careers.
Mhm.
And there's a lot to learn from them. And yeah, I would have to say like I really like my evening classes, and I gotten a lot of opportunities and really important insight people who are already like in the work field or like changing like their like what they're
Mhm.
doing and like their jobs. So it's really cool. I gotten awesome opportunities from that. So
Yeah. What has been your, what would you say has been some of your greatest experiences being at MC?
okay, so I really like surprisingly, I really like my bio 105 and 106 class. I took IB bio for 2 years in high school, and I was recommended to take this one because there's not too much foundation stuff because like I kind of already knew about that. But I really like that class because I was able to help a lot of people there. And that was actually one of my evening classes. And I met like one of the most amazing women in the world. She is like a mother of 2 kids, and she would always talk to me. She's like such an inspiration because she owns her own business. She's an entrepreneur. She helps people like directly with so many different things, and she would always like mention like I can help you with like social security. I can help you with like getting a job, like registering your kids for school, like taxes, like if you need a lawyer. Like she does it all, and it's so cool because seeing her like network with other people in the class, it was awesome. And she saw how well I was really doing in her class, and she wanted me to tutor her 2 sons, and that was so cool. And that's like probably the most like rewarding job that I've ever had because I love working with kids. I was a Sunday school teacher. I was a grader and tutor at Kumon, which is an after school learning project.
I did Kumon.
You did Kumon?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, me too. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I got to tutor her kids, which was awesome because it also motivated me in school. That was probably like my best semester. I got straight A's that last spring. And yeah, she also needed help in her office sometimes, so she would hire me as an administrative assistant before I started my marketing internship.
Mhm.
And it's just so cool, like how seeing her interact with her clients and being really professional, but still being like really careful for the people she's helping. It's so awesome, and she's a great reference and great person overall. Her name is Mary Lee, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about being in college. I think whatever college people go to, it's your opportunities to meet different people and network with different people. You never know who you're going to meet. So yeah, that's really cool. So thinking about my life going through school, whether it was elementary school, middle school, high school, even into college, something that I've always loved about it is I've always been part of a really diverse community. Like growing up, I had friends of all different backgrounds. I had Asian friends, Latino friends, white friends, Black friends, and I haven't spent a whole lot of time in MC. I think in total I've done like 3 semesters, and that's across 5 years. Like my first semester I think was in 2015 when I did video editing, and then the latest 2 semesters have been this year and last year. But that is something that I've noticed about MC's student body and its faculty is the diversity. You've spent a little bit more time here than time in MC than I have. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I love the diversity here, but I also really like the diversity in my high school. Like it was so fun, and like learning about different people's backgrounds. I mean, like I've grown up in like Montgomery Village, like my whole life basically, going to elementary school, high school, and then going over to Montgomery College. Like yeah, it's just so awesome learning about different people's culture, trying each other's food. Like whenever you go to someone's houses, they all have different like ways to respect like their parents, or like different things that they have to do. And you know, it's really nice because you always have to like make sure you say like hi and greet them, and like make sure like they feel comfortable with you being in their house. Like oh, I'm talking about like their parents or anything, but
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just really cool how we all share like the same kind of morals, like, you know, do well in school, have a good job and stuff, and how we're kind of like how school is really a priority, but it's also like really good to like take the time for yourself and like really enjoy like what we have as like being youth and everything.
Yeah. Speaking of enjoying what we have, we are in quite challenging times right now.
Yes.
Quarantine, remote learning. How has this whole experience been for you?
Okay, so I actually have a list of the things that I've been doing during quarantine, and I would have to say like in the beginning I was really productive, but now all I do is like play Animal Crossing. But it's okay because okay, so we have a treadmill in our house, so I've been exercising. We have a deck, so I sometimes go out there when the weather is nice and like absorb like the nice like warm sun, I guess. I've been cooking a lot, filming and editing YouTube videos. I finished taking my online classes and doing those assignments. Oh, I think like doing all those, it was really interesting, but I don't think it can be like in-person learning at all, because like it's just like the conversations that you have with people, or like the interactions, it's a lot different when it comes to the learning experience. But I would say like I handled it pretty well, and I was still able to learn and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, how has it been for you so far?
You know, not too different from what you just described. You know, I myself, I'm trying to remain productive and not slack off and just be in bed all day or anything like that. You know, I'm fortunate enough that MCTV has still allowed me to keep my job, and I'm still able to do stuff. You know, they've got me doing video editing and different things. So I'm fortunate in that regard. I'm also fortunate to have a whole like home gym in my house, so I have no excuse. I can't say, oh, the gym is closed, I can't go, because it's in my house. I don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
But like you, I've been doing a lot more cooking as well. I've been trying to increase my guitar playing skills.
You play guitar?
I do.
Me too.
I play alto saxophone too, but I've been more into guitar as of late.
That's cool. I just got a pedal.
A what?
A pedal, like for distortion. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I wish I was better at it, but I'm getting there. So yeah, it's really all just about trying to stay productive, trying to you know, keep your mind right, keep your body right, because we will get through this at some point. We just have to keep going.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I'm making my decision on college about, like if I'm gonna stay there or like stay at home, because like they don't know if it's gonna be still online, I guess. But yeah, like everything sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Alina, it's been really nice talking to you. Again, congratulations on graduation, and I wish you all the best going forward.
Thanks, Joe. It's been really nice talking to you too, and thank you. I also wish you the best going forward. Yeah.
Thank you.